Stephen, spell out your case. Why do you think the Tories have been too slow to react to Brexit?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, look, we are now quite a long way away from the referendum. What we've heard over the summer is we've heard about the infighting. We've heard about the fact that they seem to be fighting each other over recruitment. But people need a little bit of some answers. If you think about the impact that the European Union has on our research institutions, on our small business, on our food and drink industry, the Tories really need to start coming up with some answers. Now, we don't know what their plans are. So what I've said is come up with some more concrete plans, and if not, when Parliament goes back on the 5th of September, I'll be asking for an urgent question for a statement so that we can be updated.
What's the rush? Theresa May, the Prime Minister, has pretty much put a very slow pace into this whole debate and discussion. And even when it comes to triggering Article 50, she wants to go slowly and cautiously. And isn't that the right approach when we're talking about such a significant change for the country?
Sure, but we're also talking about something which is having a huge impact on jobs and a huge amount of uncertainty. I'll give you one example. In my constituency, I have St Andrews University, which is leading the way on research. Now, they need to know where they can apply for research beyond 2020. Also, if you think about food and drink industry, who might be thinking about exporting to the rest of the European Union, really important, not least in the rural economy, they need a little bit more certainty as well. So it may be that they're saying no rush, but I think they're giving some kind of answer. I'll give you an example. During the Scotland's independence referendum, there was a 670-page white paper was produced about what independence would mean. Now, we lost that referendum. However, what we knew was on the day after the referendum, we knew what that would mean. There was a blank piece of paper from the Leave campaign, which was led by these Conservatives who are now part of government, and they have not even started to fill in the blanks.
Stephen, I kind of think you're being a bit harsh, and I get the point. Look, I know that the SNP and Mrs Sturgeon have been really consistent, and I admire them for that throughout this whole process. When a lot of people were oscillating and there were problems in the Labour Party and the Conservatives, I get that, and I think you've been very consistent. But the fact of the matter is we have a Prime Minister in record time appointed by the Conservatives. They really got on with it. They created a new Brexit department, which you know as well as I do, Stephen, they are really struggling to staff at the moment as well. Isn't it worth getting this right before we go to the Europeans, before we go there with Article 50 and make a hash of it? Our last thing you want to see, and I want to see, and all of us in this country want to see, are U-turns because we didn't think things through and get this done right. I think the Tories have actually for once moved with a decent speed rather than dilly-and-dallying like the Labour Party.
Well, look, let's compare and contrast. The morning after the European Union referendum, and you mentioned Nicola Sturgeon, Scotland's First Minister, she came out straight away with a plan. She said, I want EU nationals to stay. I'm setting up a working group with experts drawn from across the spectrum and across Scottish civic society, and I've put that in place. And this is what I want to see. And even since then, she's put down the red lines about what Scotland wants to see. And we have had nothing from the UK government. Now, you might say, look, they need to do this, that, and the next thing. That's fine, but we still have that blank piece of paper. And let's give another example. EU nationals. It would be a very simple thing to say that if you're an EU national and you live and you work and you've made your home and you're contributing to the United Kingdom, you should be able to stay. And there are people with families and jobs who are concerned about that, and they can't even do that very simple thing.